I have been a resident here for almost 5.5 years. About 50 years ago, I stood down the hall somewhere near what is the nurse's station now. And I was there for the dedication of the Parkview Convalescent Center. A few years later, my parents were entered there, and they lived the last 4.5 or so years of their life in room 200. And so I have a little bit of a knowledge of this place. One thing I particularly remember, there was a motto hanging on the wall in the office, and it said, "As I am now, you once were. As you are now, I one day will be." Being young, it didn't say too much to me because I didn't connect myself with that at all. But here I am today, and I'm going to speak to you a little bit about some of my experiences, some of my observations, some of my feelings about what it means to be a resident of the Elwood Health and Living. First, I have a poem that I would like to share with you. It's entitled "The Other Side of the Desk," and the author is unknown. It says, "Have you ever thought just a wee little bit of how it would seem to be a misfit, and how you would feel if you had to sit on the other side of the desk? Have you ever looked at the man who seemed a bum as he sat before you, nervous and dumb, and thought of the courage it took to come to the other side of the desk? Have you thought to yourself of his dreams that went astray, of the hard real facts of his everyday, of the things of his life that made him stay on the other side of the desk? Have you thought to yourself, it could be I? It's the good things of life had passed me by, and maybe I'd bluster and maybe I'd lie from the other side of the desk. Did you make him feel he was full of greed? Make him ashamed of his race or his creed? Or did you reach out to him in his need to the other side of the desk? May God give us wisdom and lots of it, and much compassion and plenty of grit, so that we may be kinder to those who sit on the other side of the desk." Now, this isn't a pity party. It's not asking for sympathy, because we don't need sympathy. But there is one thing that we do need, and that is empathy. Webster's dictionary says that the meaning of the word empathy is projecting one's personality into another person's personality for the purpose of understanding them better. It is the ability to share in another person's feelings and their emotions. You work here, you put in your shift, and you go home. You go home to your family, your friends, the things that you ordinarily do. We sit, we watch you go home, and we watch the new shift come on. We watch them put in their shift, they go home, and we stay. And so that it goes on that way, day after day and week after week, sometimes month after month, and so on. We come to you, we're damaged goods. We have problems. We have disabilities, and that you have to work around. But there are basically some things that we need. Number one, we have a need to feel that we belong. We need to feel that we belong to something, that we are a part of something. You have to supply that part to us to make us feel like we belong. We have a need to feel like that our life has some worth. We realize that we're non-producing members of society, but yet we have the need to feel like that we have some value. We need to feel that somebody cares. And that seems like a big order. But really, I'm talking about people who have a heart. If they don't have a heart for people, they really aren't in the right place, because we need people who have a heart, people who have the ability to enter into our feelings, our emotions, our pain. What we need, you are the ones who are, or you're the only ones who can supply it for us. Somebody that is there, which you're always there, but to know that you feel and you are going through this situation with us. But I think this sums up everything that I am trying to say. My sister wrote this several years ago. She was asked to speak to a seniors group over at the Brooks-By Center, and she dashed off this poem for the occasion. It's entitled Gifts for Giving. Words are nice to use for giving. They come in size and shape and sound. The small ones, the soft ones, are the best when someone's feeling down. Smiles are good for every day and most everywhere. They say, I see you and I need you. I am glad that you are there. A touch will do when words can't reach or seem just out of place. When loving hands press lonely hands, they bless with silent grace. A prayer is such a lovely gift for blessings that it brings. It travels where a smile can't go and buys 1,000 things. So I thank you for this opportunity to speak to you.